G'day YouTube, how the heck we doing? It is Foul Play here, and we're back for some more Pioneer action with Benton Madsen's list. So this is the same list that he finished second with in the Pro Tour Phyrexia. And this time we even have the second copy of Beseju, fortunately, after going 5-0 last leg. Definitely check that one out if you haven't. For anyone new to the deck list, basically Pioneer Bogles at this point is similar to Bogles, being hybrid with Hammer Time, in my opinion, in as far as the modern decks are concerned. So Scrove actually gives you that protection effect on your Light Paws, on your SRAM, and you can really you can actually force a turn 3 combo kill with Light Paws, which is pretty impressive. It requires 3 white, 3 auras in your hand that are all 1 mana, 3 mana on turn 3, Light Paws surviving on turn 2. And then you end up basically sequencing your Ethereal Armor from hand second, so you end up with 2 on the battlefield, and you can jump up to 20 points of damage there. Outside of that, we've got an aura which gives hexproof, one that fights, one that gains life, one which returns your creature from being exiled and from entering the graveyard back to the battlefield, and Hammerhand, which gives haste and stops a creature from blocking. So there's a pretty interesting aura suite and toolbox that the deck has at its disposal. Alright, so game number 1 here, and we see this hand. It's a little bit aura light. The auras we have in hand are also slow because both of them are 2 mana. I think this is definitely worth a keep. Opponent is keeping 7 card hand. We also have like 2 mana, which is good, as opposed to struggling with a 1 mana hand. So this looks like the mono white humans deck, which also splashed a few waves at the Pro Tour. No need to complicate things. Razor Verge into Scout and pass. Alright, so opponent attacking him with Recruitment Officer. There's going to be no blocks from us. And it looks like they got a creature second main. If it's Thalia, we're sort of forced into playing Light Paws. If we can dodge Thalia, I think we're probably in a reasonable spot. If they play it, we could be in a bit of trouble. Damn. So there's no attacks anyway. I did actually accidentally skip through my first main there due to client lag, but it doesn't actually matter because we're just going to Light Paws. It's fairly likely that this gets taken away with the, is it Brutal Cathar or something like that, the 3 mana creature which exiles. Alright, so they just play the other Cathar instead, so this is fine. Gets a token, so we can block that token, take 4. This is a better spot than what I thought we'd be in. Alright, and we get to our turn, hit another mana source, so that's probably as many mana sources as we want to see for the game. First things first, we probably have to try and get hexproof on our Light Paws if we're going to make anything of this game. Just make sure it gets that protection. Next turn we can Rune of Sustenance, get an Ethereal Armor, and we should be in better spot. Currently, I guess we can attack. Yeah, because this got shrunk because we blocked out the token last turn. Alright, opponent takes, is on 16. Glade Cover Scout's just going to be forced into chump blocking because our life total is getting far too low for our liking. Thalia's Lieutenant, that is terrifying. At least the, is it a soldier? No, it's actually a human that enters on Adelanine. Alright, so that's 11 damage. Sorry, that's not 11 damage. That's 12 damage there, plus this one here. We could trade with that creature, it's not great. I think we're best served blocking this giant fat creature, just with the chump, taking 7. Trying to recover from that. Thalia is just an absolute beast though, unfortunately. It's also the sort of game where if we won the die roll, we probably would have had enough tempo to win it. So Rune of Sustenance draws a card. We find Glade Cover Scout, so that does actually give us a potential blocker there, which is interesting. Just has to be Ethereal Armor at this point, or we could get Sentinel's Eyes. Actually, I think it's Sentinel's Eyes. We lose the first strike, but it means we can attack this turn. Although still no first strike, okay. Maybe I should have gone Ethereal. All right, either way, we'll play out our scout as an extra blocker, and we'll pass the turn to our opponent. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm an idiot. All right, there's misplay number one, guys. So Alpha Authority can't be blocked by more than one creature. So if we attacked there, they couldn't double block. I was thinking 8 power, trading off with the light pause. My mistake, guys. We should be on 12, and we should have a much safer block this turn. Opponent plays second Thalia, legend ruling here. I guess they're going to keep one and just get the Thalia Lieutenant trigger. Yep. So looks like they do that, just buffing by 1 power. Fortunately, we've blanked on our opponent having the faithful hopeful initiative. Because if they had that enchantment destruction at hand, we'd be absolutely screwed. Damn, that's a frustrating one. So we break and hit a land source. As it stands though, we can actually attack with our light pause. And she'll be nice and safe. So given we didn't do the attack last turn, maybe our opponent was banking on us like not being able to make the attack this turn as well. However, we could. You probably want to get towards playing Gigantha, I'd say. Split her to hand and pass the turn. Alright, so another recruitment officer for our opponent. A training trigger on the Thalia's Lieutenant. And opponent playing another Thalia, getting another growth trigger on the Lieutenant. Legend rolling themselves, 2 card left in hand. Unfortunately for us now, our opponent's played enough creatures that Deneen Cathar is massive, but we just hit the All That Glitters anyway, so we're being super clinical. We should SRAM first. All That Glitters here. We get Trample. And then like Happy Days. And a Ganja off the top, that could come in handy. Alright, so attacking in, opponent can block with a maximum of 5 toughness, probably on Thalia's Lieutenant. We trample 12 and we get the win. And opponent blocking with the human token, I guess they're just trying to make us misclick our damage with the Audacity and the Trample, but that's very easy victory there. Reminder as well, guys, if you do enjoy the video, find it entertaining or informative, please consider subscribing. So, the main interaction our opponent has exists in the form of Hopeful Initiative, interacting with our enchantments, Ossification, exiling our creatures, and in the sideboard they've got Portable Hole as well, which is going to be able to remove something like our Alpha Authority. That and the same old soft lock that Thalia provides, but we were really fortunate to stabilize there, and Alpha Authority an absolute all-star in that match just then. Alright, so these are the cards I'm looking at sideboarding in. I think Hushbringer and Warbringer Blessings are definite to come in. Portable Hole may be a little more questionable, but it does deal with that Hopeful Initiative and our opponent's Portable Holes. So now for the tough part, which is sideboarding out. I think quite possibly we should just be taking out a lot of these 2-mana auras. It's going to make it harder to get to our Warbringer Blessings, but really, like with Thalia, we could just get stone rolled super quickly. We still have to cut 3 cards though. I'll go like 1 Griff Spoon, and then probably 1 Stram and 1 Light Pause, just because we're bringing in 2 creatures with the Hushbringers there. Alright, opponent mulligans to 6. I think this is a pretty strong keep for us. We only have 1 aura in hand, but we have 2 interactive pieces, which should hopefully be quite good. And we have a Stram to draw our small card, so this is a bit of a slower hand, but it should work out okay. Recruitment Officer, well, that's not Hopeful Initiative, so we're pretty happy there. We find a Branch Loft Pathway. The question is, do we want to play Besage You out now, or do we just play one of these green and one of them white? I think the double white could be relevant later on, and it's probably more relevant than killing a Portable Hole. And opponent attacking in, no blocks from us. Mutavault into Thalia. Alright. No stress. So I think it's just pretty straightforward for us here. I think we just want to play a Hushbringer, shut down any ETBs our opponent could have with like a lieutenant or something, and then just pass the turn. So this forces them to have Ossification or Portable Hull in hand, at which point both of them cost 1 extra to cast due to our opponent's own Thalia. Luminarch Aspirant, that's fine. I mean, this guy's going to get kind of big, but I think that's pretty okay. 2 cards left in their hand. Dauntless Bodyguard. Oh, we shut off Dauntless Bodyguard pretty well. Oh wait, no we don't? As it enters the battlefield is not an enter the battlefield effect? Okay. Seems like some tricky wording. So they're protecting Thalia, they're growing Thalia as well, they're attacking in. There's going to be no blocks from us. Find Audacity off the top. So I think the line here is Warbriar Blessing, either on Scout or Hushbringer. Probably at this point, we're going to gamble on Hushbringer a bit because there's 1 card left in hand. And I feel like if they had a removal spell for Hushbringer, they would have done it. So let's go ahead and Warbriar Blessing. On our Hushbringer, we'll take out the Luminarch Aspirant so it stops Thalia from growing anymore. And then we can potentially look to double spell next turn if we make our land drop. 1 creature we don't control. Yep. Okay, and we could leave this back to block here. I mean, blocking out that 2 damage is just a touch better than like gaining 1 life, so we'll essentially be gaining 3 life instead of 1 when it makes a land drop. Alright, and they get this chunky boy. Chunky chick. Oh, no attacks from our opponent. That's what we want to see. We find Mana Confluence. Target creature gains indestructible until end of turn, so we can Portable Hull, get rid of Thalia. And then we can double Aura afterwards. Or we can Stram afterwards. I think if they had the removal spell, they probably would have gone for it. It's Portable Hull. Take away the Thalia. There's a second Thalia, playing the SRAM is potentially slightly worse. 0 cards in our opponent's hand. I think we can just be a bit greedy here. Play the SRAM. And just no attacks just yet. We'll wait until next turn to unleash our attacks. Alright, so opponent is attacking in here. This one's going to grow because to F4/4 because I get the token. Pretty comfortable block on the token. Don't need to do anything too special here. And opponent passes to us. We just rip Ethereal Armor off the top. That's pretty fantastic. Let's start off with Audacity. See if there's any response from our opponent. Skrelv as well. Alright, well, we're going to draw an absolute fistful here. And Portable Hull, oh my goodness. Well, Portable Hull can't take care of this, but it can take care of the 1-drops. Go ahead, attack for 8. Sets our opponent down to 12, and we should probably get Skrelv down as soon as possible to protect from like an ossification. Alright, end of turn, opponent with the Recruitment Officer active, finding Brutal Cathar. Alright, well, the ETB is not going to interact with Hushbringer as far as I know. Here's Brutal Cathar, and yep, no ability. Beautiful stuff, Hushbringer. A Skrelv from the opponent as well. We're almost at victory, but not quite yet. Alright, so Cathar, human attacking. That's a free block with SRAM. We'll go for that one. Down to 11. Crackback of another 8. Branch off pathway, unfortunately a dead draw. So putting our opponent to 2 by giving protection from white on SRAM and attacking, and just attacking with a Hushbringer, I think are about equal. So we'll just attack with Hushbringer. No need to overcomplicate it. Then we'll play this land on the white side. Hushbringer on the board. Portable Hole, we can take something away, probably the Skrelv. There was also an option to put Gigantha in hand, but it doesn't seem super necessary. I probably should have played the Hushbringer off the Beseiju, so we had white mana up and didn't have to pay 2 life, but it shouldn't really matter. This game should be a lock anyway. There we are, opponents conceded. So hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, be sure to let me know down below. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, have a wonderful day and I will see you then.